Today, students across the state of Ohio staged walkouts on campuses to protest the signing of Senate Bill 1.
It's election season for flashes. The undergraduate student government debates are starting soon, and we have the live updates.
A big shift for American education. President Trump signed the executive order today to dismantle the Department of Education.
Kent State President Todd Dyakin sent a university-wide email about the engagement and well-being survey and the plan to improve the university with the results. All this and more as KSTV News at 6 starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, Portage County. I'm Hayden Cruz.
And I'm Sydney Brown. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Kent Stater is covering the stories that matter in your community.
And that's right, Hayden. And to kick it all off, Kent Stater is hosting the undergraduate student government debates underway right now.
Exactly. And joining us live from the USG debates is KSTV's Lex Rady. Good evening, Lex.
That's right, guys. I am standing on the second floor of the Student Center where USG's Director Candidate Forum, Vice Presidential Debate, and Presidential Debate will be taking place here later tonight. We got so much happening in the world of student government, and luckily Kent Stater is capturing every moment through a live stream on our website at kentstater.com. Voting for students opens March 25th and can be accessible through your very own Flashline account. Again, for more information about candidate policies and more, tune into our live stream at kentstater.com. Live from the Kent State Student Center, I'm Lex Rady.
All right, thank you, Lex. Well, the undergraduate student government at Kent State University serves as a link between students and university administration.
And as USG elections approach, students have the opportunity to select representatives who will advocate for their interests.
Our very own Sophia Elena is in studio with more information on the importance and impact these elections have on the campus community.
That's right, guys. The undergraduate student government has had a mission since 1924 of being the representative organization for the student community here at Kent State. The USG serves as the voice of Kent State student body. The representatives work with the university leadership to address key issues and ensure student perspectives are heard. Some projects that you may not know belong to them are the spin bikes and scooters, free period products on campus restrooms, and funding for student organizations, events, and academic conferences.
We have a lot of different times where we meet with university leadership. We try to work with them as best as we can to make sure that they're listening to the concerns of our students, try to do the best thing we can for the student body, I think is the goal of USG.
As the USG election approaches, students now have the opportunity to vote for candidates who will represent their interests for the upcoming academic year. By participating in the election, students contribute to the selection of the leaders who will work to address their concerns and advocate for improvements across campus.
All students should know that they can vote when we all have the opportunity to come together and try to address the specific needs of each college or each student group. I think that has impacts on student life and just like the culture at Kent State.
Voting begins next Thursday, determining the representatives who will work with university leadership in the next academic year. For KSTV, I'm Sophia Elena.
Thank you, Sophia. Kent State announced a reduction to a number of its academic colleges, eliminating 30 administrative roles. KSTV was at the board meeting when the university announced Transformation 2028 will help save the school $1.5 million, but it will rise in the future. College of Communication and Information will merge with the College of the Arts, creating the College of Arts, Design, and Media, making one of the 9 colleges in T28. As part of T28, 30 administrative positions will be sunsetted to cut costs.
From the Office of the President, Todd Dyakin sent a university-wide email about the engagement and well-being survey from the fall. The results, according to President Dyakin, are to analyze the current campus climate and identify opportunities to improve the KSU experience. To hear the feedback and survey results, students can register for the data presentation in the Student Center Ballroom balcony from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, April 9th.
Ohio Senate Bill 1 passed the Ohio House yesterday. In anticipation of this, several student organizations statewide held walkouts in protest against the state bill.
And reporter Nikki Gajeski attended 2 Kent walkouts and spoke to students.
Yes, both Kent Ohio Student Association and KSU United held separate walkouts on campus where they had to voice their feelings and these potential changes to their education.
stripping away originality from a lot of students. A lot of LGBTQ students, black students, even women, it's just stripping away who they really are and how they feel on campus.
I hate this bill. I think it's a ridiculous proposition to take away and strip free speech from colleges. I don't understand why anybody would be in favor of that.
The bill Pizer is referring to is the controversial Advance Ohio Higher Education Act, also referred to as Senate Bill 1. It passed the Ohio House Wednesday, despite 500 opposition testimonies submitted compared to just 24 in favor, according to the Ohio Capitol Journal.
It's going to remove our diversity, equity, and inclusion departments, policies, programs, initiatives, all of our scholarships that are part of that, all of our identity centers.
It really impacts what students can learn about, what they can expand their perspectives on, give their own perspectives on, and it's really just not good for the programs that are supposed to be helping Ohio students.
Kent's Ohio Student Association and KSU United held walkouts on Wednesday and Thursday to give students a chance to show their opposition. OSA protests happened around the state and featured student testimonies, while KSU United had petitions and encouraged students to call their local representative.
Community come together and try and have something where a lot of students can feel heard and seen and have the proper space to voice their concerns.
It's a good thing that there's such a strong community and that people can come together and agree that what the government is doing isn't what the people want.
HR major and a nonprofit business minor.
I'm used to an environment that is hostile towards me just existing. And I came to Kent State because I wanted to escape that environment.
The bill now heads to Governor Mike DeWine to be signed into law. He has not indicated when and if he will sign it. There still is time for people to write to DeWine urging him to not sign the bill. More details on OSA protests can be read in Connor Nagy's digital article on Kent Stater. For KSTV, I'm Nikki Gajeski.
Thank you, Nikki. Protesters also came out in strong numbers to Columbus. Thousands rallied at the Ohio State House, many students marching from the Ohio State campus, where changes are already underway. Many protesters held signs similar to those we saw at Kent State, reading Protect Higher Ed and Defend Higher Education. The campus announced the closure of 2 offices handling diversity, equity, and inclusion at the end of February.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Well, it certainly wasn't a good day to forget your umbrella on campus, Sydney.
Well, luckily, the rain really held off and I saw you at class, and I was happy about that because just carrying all the stuff in for the newscast and etc.
Exactly, but hoping we will be just as lucky leaving here tonight. No rain, we don't want that.
No, not at all. So we have Ryan Mead in studio. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, everyone. I'm your weather anchor, Ryan Mead. Earlier today, we saw off and on rain showers, so let's take a look if we can have some of that change tonight, maybe have some better weather tomorrow. So currently, right now, it's this off and on rain that kind of just spits at you, and it just kind of is this off and on going on. It's 39 degrees right now. We were going to expect this to continue throughout the night, and off a little bit chance of snow later tonight. We'll possibly see some of that. As we go into tomorrow, though, it'll be mostly sunny, and it'll be 52 degrees. A lot better than it was today. Actually, we'll feel a lot nicer. And there's a chance of rain in the afternoon. There will be a sunset at 7:39 p.m., but we aren't expecting too much rain if it does happen. And as we go throughout the hourly forecast for tonight, we'll have off and on rain around right now. And it's expected to taper off a little bit around 9 p.m. However, there's a chance for some snow after midnight that isn't able to be seen right now. But I'm not expecting that snow to be that much of an impact if there is any snow. But we'll be seeing this kind of continue throughout the night, and it'll eventually stop this off and on rain pattern throughout the night. And we'll see what happens, but I don't think that this snow would be impactful. But make sure that you stay dry tonight, as we should have some pleasant weather tomorrow. Back to you, Hayden and Sydney.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Kent police are investigating an incident at the Kent Mazda dealership. Earlier this morning, someone broke through the service garage and stole a 2020 purple Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat and a 2018 white Infiniti Q60, the value of both cars being $78,000. The same make and model cars were then spotted at a gas station. Stowe police attempted a traffic stop, but the vehicles fled, causing the pursuit, but that was called off when the cars reached nearly 100 miles per hour. Order today planning to dismantle the U.S. Department of Education. We've got more on this story coming up.
A battle of tariffs, the European Union is pausing their scheduled tariff prices for U.S. negotiations, and in particular, holding off on the U.S. whiskey tariffs.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. You can have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Reach out, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now spit! Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
You feel good about that? No. I'm looking at it right.
In yellow today, feel free to use orange, feel free to use green, feel free whatever you want to do. These are what I have in my refrigerator.
Students, especially those that are in CCI fondly enough, are going to be visiting there quite often. But does their reward program
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Sweeping changes to the American education system with the long-awaited executive order of the Department of Education.
Continuing to follow all things national news, KSTV's Matt Corrali is joining us with everything you need to know. Hi, Matt.
Hi guys, good evening, and that's right, historic times for the U.S. Education Department going on right now, and here's why. Just over an hour ago, President Donald Trump has signed an executive order that is looking to abolish the U.S. Department of Education. With Trump's signature, it still will not be fully abolished, as that will have to go through Congress. However, with this, education authority will be determined by states. Combining cuts with voluntary buyouts, the Trump administration has trimmed the department's workforce from nearly 2,000 workers since the start of his second term. Now, with the possibility of the end of the department, teacher unions are speaking out, including the American Federation of Teachers. Its head had a simple four-word message to the Trump administration if it moved forward to the abolishment of the agency's role in the nation's schools. See you in court.
The real issue is, how do we make sure that kids have the funding that they need, and we make sure that every single kid has a safe and welcoming environment and is one that is engaging and relevant.
The White House says the Department of Education will continue to oversee federal Pell Grants and student loans. According to two sources involved in the discussions, the Department of Education has struggled to find a viable alternative agency to manage its massive student loan portfolio, which totals $1.8 trillion in debt. An estimated 40% of loans are past due, according to sources. These stories and more, visit us online at kentstater.com and follow us across Kent Stater's social media pages. From the Franklin Hall studio, Matt Caroli, Kent Stater TV.
Informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Looking towards this weekend, many are planning to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
That's right, Sydney. KSTV's Ryan Mead is back to tell us this weekend's forecast. So tell us, Ryan, is luck in the air?
Hi everyone. Hopefully we all had a great spring break with the warmer temperatures, but let's see what we can expect to come for this week and expect to get warmer temperatures. So today is actually the first day of spring, but as you can see throughout the state of Ohio, it's around 40 degrees, which is about expected for the first day of spring. And if you're catching a basketball game in Cleveland right now, it should be around 40 degrees. It should be a little bit of some rain going on, but nothing too crazy. And then as we get closer to us, it's still around the same temperature. Kent is actually 34 degrees right now, and it's about the same throughout the area. A little bit of rain mixed in there, but nothing out of the ordinary. And then as we go into our extended forecast, as you can see tonight, we have 54% chance of off and on rain, and this is going to continue throughout the night. And then tomorrow will be mostly sunny. And then as we go to this weekend, it's going to be a little bit of a rainy one as we have some AM and PM showers on Saturday and Sunday. And then as we go through the rest of the week, it's going to be around the same temperature, around 45 degrees. And it's going to be not too bad, but it'll be something that's, you'll want to wear a jacket. You'll want to make sure that you're able to have the great... So make sure that you stay dry and dress up for the weather as we get to this week. Now let's go back to Hayden and Sydney for the rest of your Thursday newscast.
All right, thank you, Ryan. The Taliban has freed an American man who was abducted more than 2 years ago. George Glesman is the third American detainee to be released by the Taliban since January. In a deal with the Trump administration that Qatari negotiators helped broker, Glesman was traveling through Afghanistan as a tourist and was seized in December of 2022 and was deemed wrongfully detained the following year. Glesman has returned to the U.S. and reunited with his wife.
The auto industry is bracing for a bumpy ride ahead. 25% tariffs are now in place on steel and aluminum imports, and supply crunches are starting to hit. Levies on cars from Asia and Europe are set to go into effect next month, and in 2 weeks, import taxes begin on all goods, including car parts imported from Canada and Mexico.
Europe is delaying tariffs on U.S. whiskey for negotiation. The European Trade Commissioners said U.S. officials wanted to start negotiating after a new set of Trump administration tariffs would take effect on April 2nd. The move is meant to give officials time to refine the list of products that will be hit and allowing more time to strike a deal with the U.S. The first wave of EU tariffs was originally set to kick in on March 31st, with a second wave coming a few weeks later.
The Cleveland Cavaliers dropped their third straight against the Sacramento Kings last night. Find out what went wrong out west for the Cavs.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Did you know that children growing up with poor air quality have smaller lungs and higher rates of asthma than children that grow up with good air quality? And unfortunately, poor communities have poor air quality. IQ Air Foundation is working to change this. Today, the IQ Air Foundation provides filtration technology to schools with poor air quality through our Clean Air for Kids program. Our goal is to help over 50,000 school children every year breathe over 90% cleaner air indoors, helping to level the playing field, reduce barriers to learning, reduce sick days, and increase test scores. Mitigating poor air quality is key to environmental justice. Help clean air for kids reach more children at IQAirFoundation.org.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Well, the weather outside has been heating up, and so is baseball season. There's been a lot happening on the diamond, so let's jump right into it. Starting with the Kent State baseball team, they took a trip out to Pittsburgh to face the Pitt Panthers yesterday after their 15-5 win against Hofstra. Unfortunately, that momentum would not carry over as they lost this one by a final score of 17-13. The Flashes were able to keep themselves in this game offensively, but the pitching struggled heavily, giving up 15 runs in just the first 4 innings. Next up for the Flashes is another road trip, this time to Stellar Field to face the Bowling Green Falcons for a 3-game series this weekend. The Falcons should prove to be difficult for the Flashes as they sit with a 15-5 record. However, I think if those bats stay as hot as they were yesterday, the Flashes will definitely be able to compete. The games will be played at 3 o'clock tomorrow and then at 1 o'clock on both Saturday and Sunday. And sticking in Bowling Green out on those diamonds, the softball team makes a trip out there to play in a doubleheader tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Both teams enter this matchup sporting a similar record, but since this one is conference play, I would definitely anticipate that neither of these teams will be able to pull off a sweep in that 3-game series. Despite the Flashes coming off a 4-game losing streak, I think that they will take the series against the Falcons 2-1. Now we're going to move things out to the Golden One Center. The Cleveland Cavaliers off to a pretty decent start in this game, but Devin Carter, arguably the play of the game, he is going to slam this over Sam Merrill. Not a good look for him at all, but what a slam by Carter. Now, DeMar DeRozan, he's keeping the Kings in this game, and I've said it through my entire time being a basketball fan. DeMar DeRozan has the nicest mid-range jumper. Take a look at that shot, absolutely beautiful. He is great. Now, the Kings, they will start to gain traction in this one. The Cavs turn this ball over. Devin Carter showing that, he's got a whole bunch of dunks in the tank. He's got plenty through the game, 16 points on the night. But the Cavs wouldn't just put their heads down. Evan Mobley shoots this 3-ball. The team high scoring 31 points for Mobley. But with the game on the line, DeMar DeRozan, like I said, beautiful mid-range jumper. He is going to ice this game. The final score of this one will be Sacramento 123, Cleveland 119. Now, I know that the Cavs have lost 3 straight, but with 13 games left in the season, I don't think that Cavs fans should hit that panic button just yet. For more on this discussion, join us tomorrow for Overtime at 7 o'clock. Anthony Leonardi.
Do you have a pet frog? It's okay if you don't, because you can still celebrate the animal as today is World Frog Day. I knew that's what it was. I just forgot to
Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall, and make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Well, as we heard from Ryan earlier, today is the first day of spring, or the vernal equinox. This is determined by where the Earth is in its orbit around the sun. Today, the Earth's axis is not tilted toward or away from the sun, causing an equal amount of sunlight and dark hours at all latitudes. So although today might be raining, we hope you still took advantage of the first day of spring.
And spring is celebrating not just the hopping Easter creature, we're also celebrating World Frog Day. Today's festivities are to raise awareness about the frogs with safer environments and the environment, the threatened frog species worldwide. Frogs first appeared in the fossil record roughly 256 million years ago, according to animal experts. Reportedly, there are a couple thousand under threat of extinction, unfortunately.
I love frogs.
You do?
I'm a big frog fan. I used to have a pet frog.
Aww.
His name was Pablo. I miss him.
Pablo's a cute name for a frog.
Thank you.
Is it like a frog or a toad?
Oh, he was a frog. He was
Okay.
a little teeny tiny frog. Yeah,
Okay.
he was small, but he was very sweet. I loved my frog, and I got him for Christmas.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I always wanted to have like a Kermit. What are the Kermit for?
Puppet?
No.
Stuffed animal.
Isn't it like a crab?
A hermit crab?
Hermit crab. I was close. I was close.
You know, people
we had that in our classroom.
Right. Well, there you go. People typically do get hermit crabs, though, when they're out in like Florida and stuff. I used to do that when I was on spring break and things. So, speaking of spring break, spring is in the air finally.
We already had our spring break.
We did. Did you do anything fun?
I went to the Pacific Northwest with my
Amazing.
best friend. That was really cool. So we went to
Amazing.
Vancouver, Canada
Nice.
for spring break, kind of fun.
Right.
And then Seattle.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't do anything that crazy, but coming back to campus, though, we obviously have the live debates currently happening
Yes.
for our undergraduate student government. Those are live right now on our YouTube channel.
And exciting stuff for Kent Stater TV. We are also now streaming on Roku.
Yes, we
so
are.
lots of opportunities to get more of your community and your stories. But that will wrap up our time
Yes,
today.
that will wrap up our time today. Thank you so much for joining us.
For more stories of your community, visit kentstater.com. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Hayden Cruz. Have a great night, Portage County. How can you hate Star Wars?
Kung Fu Panda.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Here for a late night walk.
Yes.
Late night walks around
Yes.
campus. Not bad.
I always, you know, like the swing.
Student center.
What?
Wait, care? You mean like healthcare?
CARES Center.
Student center.
Where you can get support.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart that there's room for me and mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero.
Good job, kitty cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.